Hello, welcome back to The Extra Point. I'm Jack. Alongside me, we have Nick and Evan. As MLB free agency, it's that time of year. Spring training's coming, is here now. And we have a lot of free agents that have signed. We finally got a season after a long lockout.
Yep.
Who were some of the biggest surprises that you guys have seen so far in free agency in baseball?
I think a lot of the shortstops, like obviously Correa signing with the Twins, nobody expected that. That was insane. I think Story signing with the Red Sox was also pretty insane. I didn't see that. Chris Bryant signing with the Rockies makes no sense because now he's on a team by himself with nobody else. So yeah. It was a lot of weird stuff going on there.
Yeah, another weird one that I think is going to be honestly strange for me to watch, one that I think a lot of people forgot about. Noah Syndergaard is on the Angels.
Yeah,
Noah Syndergaard is on the Angels, so he adds another pitcher to Shohei Ohtani. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Angels can turn it around now.
Mike Trout stays healthy for a whole season.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe they make the playoffs now.
Rendon's still there?
He wasn't hurt.
If he turns it around, because last year he had a down year.
Definitely.
But if he turns it around this year, Syndergaard returns to what he looked like before getting injured.
And they
with
have
the
Aaron
Mets.
Actually, they took him from the Mets too.
Yeah, they have a chance to actually maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah, they do. You know, this was one that I saw coming, but like just going into this offseason, I just didn't really see happening. Was Matt Olson going to the Atlanta Braves and Freddie Freeman being a Los Angeles Dodger. That's I really thought it was going to be either one of them were going to be a Yankee for a really hot minute, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
I feel like it was inevitable after a while. I was like, oh, I guarantee he's going back to the Braves. Everybody was reporting they're like, he may have interest, but he's going to go back to the Braves, and then he ends up, and then they trade for Matt Olson. You're like, well, that's over.
Over. Yeah, exactly.
Not a shot there anymore.
Another one too. It's just kind of like it happens a lot in baseball. It really bothers me. So many teams now, they'll draft these great players. They develop them well, become stars in the league, like the A's.
Yep.
And then ship them right away, like the Cincinnati Reds have done. As well with, obviously
they cleared
Nick Castellanos is a Philly.
Yep.
Eugenio Suarez is a Mariner, and so is Jesse Winker. It's pretty, it's just really frustrating to see because I want to see other teams get involved in the playoffs, but it just doesn't happen.
I also don't understand the half sell. Like they kept Luis Castillo and they kept Tyler Mahle, which they both had a lot of interest. I know the Mets were interested in him, and I know that everybody's interested in
Castillo. He has a lot of potential.
Castillo, And then also the A's pitchers, they keep going back and forth.
Montes,
as to whether or not they're going to trade them. So it's a weird. I don't understand. Let's trade all these big guys, but then keep these guys and be more tough on their price. It doesn't make much sense.
And I think we can stop beating around the bush a little bit too. The New York Yankees
have done.
I'm pretty sure a while ago.
Nothing.
I said.
On this
show, Carlos Correa and Matt Olson would both be joining the Yankees.
Yeah.
Well, that aged well. I mean,
your Christmas wish did not come true.
Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez are teammates, but sheesh, I mean, they're
Carlos Correa, they're not on the Yankees.
With Carlos Correa. I mean, all right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have Josh Donaldson now and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa joining the squad. I mean,
I like Kiner-Falefa a lot. He's a really good defense. It's obviously not Carlos Correa, obviously. He's a good bat who's going to hit for contact. I'm hoping he can hit for contact, but his glove's phenomenal. He's really, really good defensively.
Yeah. That's what the Yankees needed. The Yankees needed a good defensive shortstop.
Good riddance. See you later.
I feel like he's also kind of like a Swiss Army knife. So, if somebody got injured, I mean, I know he'll mainly be their shortstop because it makes the most sense. But I feel like they were even talking about him playing catcher with the Rangers.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, he can.
He can basically play everywhere.
Yeah, he has a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, which I like a lot.
He plays short, second, third, and catcher, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So the guy can play.
Yeah.
He can play defense very well.
And also, the Yankees brought back Anthony Rizzo as well, so.
That was a great one to see.
When all the other first basemen were gone, they were like, Anthony, I'm sorry. We did not mean to besmirch your name.
Yep.
We need to bring you back now.
On a nice 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, at least we still have a first baseman now.
True.
I think the craziest thing was Cubs fans oh my God, Schwarber and Rizzo may come back. They had that hope for a few days, and then it was Schwarber signs with the Phillies, Rizzo signs with the Yankees. All right, well, that was a good run.
And Chris Bryant to the Rockies.
And Chris Bryant to the Rockies. And Javier Baez
that
to
one
the
just
Tigers,
made no sense.
I was just going to say the same thing.
That one made no sense to me at all. The Rockies literally.
You literally paid for Noah Arenado to leave and go to the
You let Trevor Story walk. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know why they're accepting a
that.
full rebuild.
I also don't know why he leaves, not even for a competing team.
I just stick with the Giants.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? You were just the best team in the MLB in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you lost Gossman to the Blue Jays, but you still have Logan Webb, who was phenomenal.
He had a great
He was
season.
disgusting
Great
last
postseason.
year. And again, you still have a great team around you. Like, the Giants were fundamentally, like, I think probably the best team in baseball, maybe outside of the Dodgers last year.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know. I think the Rockies definitely should have went in full rebuild mode and just accept it. But what's signing Chris Bryant going to do? I mean, it's just Chris Bryant, and then you really don't have much around him.
The only thing I can think of is he wanted to play there to juice up his stats because he's playing at Coors Field for half his games.
And you're still in the division with the Dodgers and the Giants. So it's not like you're going to go
and the Padres too.
And the Padres.
Yeah.
He didn't really
and they got Bob Melvin now, who's a great manager. So he'll help the team too. He's also like a great addition to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I don't know. I am really just intrigued. The Tigers getting, obviously this is before the lockout.
Yep.
But the Tigers getting Baez.
Yep.
And the Twins getting Correa. Like, where did that come from? Because to me, those are teams that are like, the Tigers were awful last year.
Yeah.
Like, they were terrible. And the Twins were like middle of the pack. Like, you're not making the playoffs, but you have an okay, like, you have a losing record, but it's not awful. Like, what are we doing here?
I think they saw the White Sox doing so well in that division, and they wanted to make it more competitive because they're all in the same division.
Yeah.
So they added Tucker Barnhart, the catcher from the Reds.
Yeah.
They added him. They added Eduardo Rodriguez from the Red Sox, and then they got Riley Green coming up. They got Spencer Torkelson coming up. So they got a really good team in formation.
Twins, I'm just really confused. Like, and you trade for Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez is lucky if he hits 230 and will give you like 25 home runs a year. Okay, whatever.
But he gets to grow out the beard.
He gets to grow out the beard. Oh, yeah, sorry. They both get to grow out beards. I think I saw Gio Urshela with a goatee on TikTok the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Gio Urshela, fine, like, okay player. Like, he's probably comparable to Donaldson in a way. I think he's got a better glove, but his bat's not as good as Donaldson's still is somehow. Obviously, would have loved Donaldson, in 2015.
Yeah.
But
if Donaldson can somehow turn back the clock and really bring
I'm only asking like a couple years.
the
for
bringer
Donaldson.
of rain.
Yeah,
Like the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson. Then
I feel
you
like
got something scary.
This is the first trade he's been in where he hasn't been like the team's fans have been like okay, but they haven't been super excited because he went to the Indians, they were super excited. He went to the Blue Jays, they were super excited. He goes.
Makes
to all
no
these
sense.
other
Garrett
teams.
Cole hates him. They had all this beef, Garrett Cole and Josh Donaldson. Yeah. Now they're teammates.
Now it's water under the bridge. Yeah.
All right, well that's gonna wrap it up here. Stay tuned for NFL free agency.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to the Extra Point, and we are currently in the midst of one of the craziest NFL free agencies of all time. Ben DeVito alongside me is Luca and Jack. As the NFL free agency continues to roll, Tom Brady unretires, the top 2 wide receivers both get traded, and overall madness. There's a reason they call it March Madness, and we're not talking about college basketball. So guys, what was the craziest move that you've seen so far in NFL free agency?
Yeah, I'm going to say Devontae Adams going to the Raiders. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Once Aaron Rodgers re-signed, I know he had that monster contract, but I thought that, him and Devontae Adams, super duper close. If you listen to Pat McAfee's show, Rodgers talking about, their relationship, they were very, very close. And I could not see Devontae Adams leaving that football team. They were going to have a good roster, run it back. And it didn't happen. And of all teams, the Raiders, the AFC West has been making moves upon moves upon moves. It's a great move by the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, that was something I didn't expect. Obviously, it was due to them not wanting to, give him an extension. But like you said, I was not expecting the Raiders in the slightest.
Not at all. And that division, I mean,
yeah.
Oh my, you've got obviously the Chiefs who, I think that was probably to me, that was the one I was most shocked about. Because I figured the Packers were running out of money because they had to give a bunch to Rodgers. I wasn't expecting Tyreek Hill to. I was expecting him to leave at some point because Mahomes has so much money tied to him. I wasn't expecting it this soon. I was expecting him to play one more year out with Kansas City, run it back, see if he can get another ring. I was not expecting him to leave. I was very, very upset too today when it was the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, the New York Jets.
Tyreek Hill saw that Juju Smith-Schuster came to the Chiefs and that him and Jackson Mahomes are going to be making TikToks now. So I don't blame him for wanting to leave. But that's another move that was just crazy.
It came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere, yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I woke up this morning and I saw, Tyreek Hill wants a trade. I'm like, oh, okay. Literally an hour later, he's traded.
Yeah.
Crazy. And, for him to want to leave the powerhouse Chiefs with arguably, one of the best quarterbacks of our generation in Patrick Mahomes, it's just so crazy to see him want to leave because, in all honesty, I think a lot of Tyreek Hill's success comes from Mahomes. I think he's going to have a receiver.
No, he's going to drop off.
He's going to drop off tremendously.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be tremendous. I think he's still a good receiver. He's still going to be a top.
You got Tua Tagovailoa or Teddy Bridgewater. You really think he's going to have a good season?
True. Yeah, I mean, both average. And Tyreek Hill, a lot of his game is the deep throw and the deep catch. And Tua's thus far still very young. He can't improve, but Tua thus far has shown he doesn't have that arm strength.
He cannot throw far.
So we'll see. But maybe this is a move where Tyreek Hill says, you know what? I won my Super Bowl. I want to get paid. I'm not going to be in the league forever. I only have a couple of years. Let me get my money. And, hey, Miami's a nice spot to live.
I would love to live in Miami.
It's a nice spot to live. So maybe that's his thought process behind that.
Yeah.
No, but I think
definitely.
But for me, I would say the craziest free agency move. I mean, there's been so many. I mean, even Whitworth retiring, just overall.
Well, we all know that happened.
Yeah, but it's just all these. It's just a crazy NFL offseason. But I think what puts the cherry on top is 45 days after his so-called retirement, Tom Brady says, "You know what? I'm gonna lace up the cleats one more time. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna play for the Bucs." I mean, his retirement was shorter than the MLB lockout.
Yeah.
So, it's just, the greatest quarterback of all time, and I'm not afraid to say that because he's miles ahead of everyone in terms of being the best. The greatest quarterback of all time returns at the age of 45.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
He's 45 years old and he's still a top quarterback in the league. That just shows the dominance. But, it's just crazy he's back, especially, announcing his unretirement the day before free agency begins. So you got guys like Fournette re-signing. You got all these pieces that they almost lost when Brady was, retired. He comes back, and you know what? I think that is one of the crazier moves in free agency. But he wasn't the only quarterback to, make a big splash, and that was Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
In another very unexpected but expected trade. We've seen for months now.
For years. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been a few years now where we've seen Every offseason, Russ Wilson might be leaving Seattle. He might be going to Chicago. He might be going to Denver.
Might be going to
New York.
New York. I mean, I kind of wanted him.
Well, he's a Denver Bronco, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, we got Tyrod Taylor, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But
that's an improvement from Mike Lennon.
I'm an improvement from Mike Lennon. Honestly, I'm an improvement from Mike Lennon. But yeah, so Russell Wilson, that package was good for, you know.
That was a lot. That moved a lot.
They gave up a lot
It
of
was
pieces.
a lot. And I mean, Noah Fant now on the Seahawks.
Yeah. Now, do we think that Drew Lock's going to be the starter in Seattle? Are they going to draft someone?
No.
Are they going to go for Baker? We don't know what the Seahawks
See, that's
are
another
going to do
thing.
at quarterback.
I think they either go for Baker or they tank a year with Drew Lock, completely tank, and try to get Bryce Young in the draft next year.
It's very possible, but you know, you with that Baker Mayfield trade talk just reminded me of another major trade that went down. Deshaun Watson, after a year absence of play, returns and plays for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, what do we think about that before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun, the whole thing's escalated pretty quickly. I mean, we saw right that day, Baker Mayfield, right? They're like, we're not going to trade him. We don't want to trade him. Then he says he wants to be traded. Like, Then Deshaun Watson gets traded over, and it's like, what the heck's going on? They said initially they want to keep Baker. Then Deshaun Watson comes here, and then it's like, all right, what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? Where is he going to go? Or Deshaun Watson's there. What's going to happen to Baker? Are you going to keep him on his roster? Like, what are you going to do? And then Matt Ryan gets signed by the Colts, and that's where is Baker going to go?
That's another thing. There's so many quarterbacks switching teams. I feel like this is the NBA right now. There's just a complete overhaul, and everybody's just switching teams right now. And I mean, Baker Mayfield, I mean, he's not good. He's just not that good. So wherever he gets traded, I feel bad for that team because you wasted assets to get Baker Mayfield. I mean, Odell wants to go back to the Browns now because Baker's not there. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's been a crazy free agency, so it's still a lot more to go. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the NFL free agency. But that's going to wrap up here. Stay tuned for the Underdog here on the Extra Point.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Wait, why does my face look like that?
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's gotta come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Underdog Extra Point, and we're back. This time, no more masks, so you see our beautiful faces. Join alongside me, Luca and Adam, and it's the best time of the year. March Madness, when no one knows what they're doing, but everyone loves to watch it. Boys, we've seen some incredible upsets so far this tournament, and we are bound to see some more with the Sweet 16 happening tomorrow. Starting it off, we have Arkansas versus Gonzaga. Now, I feel like Gonzaga is going to win this game, no problem. But they kind of struggled last week against Memphis, and they're opening as 9.5-point favorites against Arkansas. That's too many points in my opinion.
Yeah, for me too. I'm gonna agree with that. I think Arkansas plus 9.5. I just think again, March Madness. So many games end up being 5-point games or 2-possession games. 9.5 is just so many points. I can't get behind that.
March Madness, it's all about guard play, and I would say Arkansas's got 2 really great guards, and I don't know if Gonzaga can be able to compete with them defensively. I think that, though, that front court is a big impact in Drew Timme, Chet Holmgren. I think, though, Arkansas covers the 9.5, but Gonzaga still wins this one and moves on to the Elite
One
Eight.
thing I want to say about Gonzaga, I am not the biggest fan of Chet Holmgren. I don't think he's going to be all that.
I don't think he is either. He's too skinny. In my opinion, he's just too skinny. Needs a few cheeseburgers.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw a thing. It was him and Zion would be the perfect duo because everything Chet does great, Zion sucks at, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That I would agree with that.
One thing that's interesting for Chet too, there's rumors he's gonna be a lottery pick in the NBA, top 3 pick.
Yeah.
He's projected the number one
one.
overall pick.
I see someone like him, he's tall, he's 7-something, playing power forward or center. Imagine him guarding Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna get posted up on? Well, how's he gonna stop
He's
that?
skinnier than Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
and
he's very good handles though.
He's 7 foot, $180.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's actually correct.
Oh my goodness, 180 and you're. Regardless, next game we have my personal favorite. We have Nova -5 against Michigan. Now there's a little trend Nova follows. They win in the even years. 2016 they won. 2018 they won. 2020 they were on poised to run. No tournament. To come back with a vengeance. Michigan or frauds. Big Ten just only produces fraudulent teams. 5 points. Connor Gillespie, baby Archidiakono. I'm sorry. Nova -5. No question.
Listen, Michigan has kind of proven that they could play big teams so far in the tournament. Juwan Howard's really led them, but I'm going to agree with you. I got Nova -5. It's just Villanova, every time March Madness comes around, they just catch fire at the right time.
Jay Wright is just such a March Madness coach.
They do. They always catch fire at the right times. During the regular season, Big East, sometimes they don't make as much noise. But once March Madness happens,
it's like Syracuse.
Yeah.
As soon as March Madness happens.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think, honestly, right now, Villanova might be the most dominant team in the entire country. Michigan's, they've played a couple good games, a couple good wins. Colorado State, Tennessee, who just won the SEC, that's a good win. I still got to take Nova -5, though. They're just too dominant, just very well-rounded team in general. And I think that they have the skill to get past what I think is an inconsistent Michigan team.
Do not let Gillespie get hot. Next
That is
game,
important.
Adam, I'm going to let you take over this game. UCLA versus your North Carolina Tar Heels.
UNC fan, I already know what I want. UNC is plus 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5-point dogs.
I really like that lineup. I saw something Saturday, depth coming in clutch for him, some guys who played well off the bench. Dontrez Styles came in big for him, and they've already had a great starting lineup. They'll actually have Brady Manick for the entire game. Not going to talk about that here. But then foul issues as well with Caleb Love and Armando Bacot were big down the stretch against Baylor. Luckily, we hit a couple big shots from R.J. Davis to get us to overtime. UCLA's had a great run, though, but as a Carolina fan, we're going to the Elite Eight. We're going to end the UCLA run at a repeat to get back to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think UNC plus 2.5. I just think UNC, the seeding they got, it's just they're so much better than the seed that they are.
8 seed is ridiculous.
8 seed is ridiculous.
They're a 5 or 6 seed, in my opinion.
They just proved they beat Baylor.
Yeah, and they scored 93 points against Baylor.
Yeah.
The defending champs.
Defending champs, #1 seed in the region. These guys can score. Gotta favor them here, UNC.
They scored 95 against Marquette as well.
I might play a little bit of devil's advocate here.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great.
We got Tiger Campbell. We have Johnny Juzang, the upperclassmen, taking over for UCLA. I doubted UCLA. I thought they were easily going to lose to St. Mary's, and they proved me wrong. I think it can go either way. 2.5 points isn't too many. Maybe UCLA doesn't cover the -2.5. I still think they win, though. I don't know. I don't feel like it's North Carolina year.
I could see it. But we'll see on Friday night.
Now we have arguably the best game of the entire Sweet 16, Houston versus Arizona, a 5 seed versus a 1 seed, where Houston was incredibly disrespected to put as a 5 seed. This game is basically a pick'em. I'm taking Houston to win.
I would say Houston as well. Top 5 BPI. They're a top 5 defensive team in America, and I don't know. I've not been buying Arizona all year, and they've played great. But the Pac-12 not as good, I think, as it usually. Actually, not. It's actually decent this year, but the Pac-12 is just not on the same level, I feel like, as the Big East, the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC. There's some teams towards the bottom that they had to play to get there, and I think Houston, has handled 2 really good teams, UAB and Illinois. They're top 5 BPI, and with how they've played throughout their They dominated the American tournament, and they're, in my opinion, should have been probably a 2 or 3 seed. And I think I'm going to have to go with Houston in this one.
The one thing that really sets Houston away from me is I was watching their game the other day against Illinois where they have 7-foot Kofi Coburn, arguably the best forward in all of college basketball right now. He got his 19. But when I tell you Houston was getting every single offensive rebound, I've never seen a team rebound like they do.
They were rebounding, probably one of the best rebounding games I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and rebounding, it's very huge. I'm going to agree with you guys, too. Houston +1.5. I mean, rebounding is so important in basketball. It gives a second, third, fourth chance opportunity. Even when you're shooting, if you're shooting a 3 and you know you have a 7-foot massive center in the paint, you're more confident shooting that 3 because, hey, if I miss, we're going to get another chance, right? And the fact you guys mentioned very good defense as well. I mean, that wins championships. We say that in every single sport. Defense wins championships. And again, they played number 4 Illinois, who had a very good team, only held them to 53 points. I mean, listen, if you can play good defense, and that's huge, man. That's huge.
I remember watching this Houston game, and there was a point where they missed like 4 shots in a row, and they kept getting every single offensive rebound. It was like a minute and a half, 2-minute possession because they just kept grabbing the boards. And I remember saying one thing: if you out-rebound, you will win the game like 9 out of 10 times. People don't think rebound is so important because you keep possession alive. But the final game I want to talk about. People, you are going to call me insane. I don't care. I am riding with the Peacocks. St. Peter's, the little 15 seed, who only reason they're in March Madness because they beat our Monmouth Hawks, are 12.5-point underdogs against the Purdue Boilermakers. I'm sorry, they just beat Kentucky. They just beat Murray State. I don't see them losing to Purdue.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again,
650 plus on the money line.
Yeah.
I can't bet against them.
No, I mean,
they're America's team.
I'm agreeing with you. Again, I'm very disappointed they beat Monmouth because, you know, you see this, you're like, wow, that could have been us.
That's crazy,
But I mean, who knows? We'll never know. But again, it's like this team, for having plus 12.5, again, like I said, for the Arkansas Gonzaga, that is so many points. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, no March Madness game for the most part, especially at this point. There's no way it's going to be decided.
This is the hottest team in the country right now.
For sure. And again, something that St. Peter's does really, really well. They shoot free throws amazingly. And that's very good situationally in the end of games. If St. Peter's can just hang with Purdue the whole time, end of games, again, a little foul, kind of free throw competition a little bit, I'm confident in St. Peter's. So I'm going with St. Peter's here.
Like that.
I did not like it. St. Peter's, very undersized. Tallest player, 6'8". Guess what Purdue has? 6'10", Travion Williams, 7'4", 300-pound Zach Edey. Who is guarding that on St. Peter's
I am
team?
taking the 3-time MAC Defense Player of the Year,
Casey Nadefo is 6'7", 190.
And he still led the league in blocks last year.
Yes, he led the league in blocks. But if you throw the ball up high to a 7'4", 300-pounder who is 9 inches and 100 pounds bigger than him, easy light work in the post.
Care. What did Dennis Rodman do in the NBA?
Okay, he's got size. He's big in this way. And you're not forgetting about a guy who's potentially a top 3 pick in Jaden Ivey.
I think you just got to believe in the dream. I think you just hate America right now.
I don't hate America. I think that they could definitely be plus 12.5. I don't see them winning this game at all.
Is winning the entire chip. It is going to be a St. Peter's Villanova championship, and America wins. And that is going to do it for this week's portion of The Underdog. I love March Madness, even though I don't know what's going on half the time. See y'all next week.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.